you're invited to a night of puppetry, language, music, and poetry on an intimate, transforming stage.
The Magic of Light tells the story of a young man on a lifelong quest to record, preserve, and illuminate Ukrainian traditions. Artist and puppeteer Tom Lee is here with us with more on all of that. These are absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
They're so intricate.
Hi there.
Hello.
Okay, so tell us, how hard is it to bring a puppet to life?
Well, it's for me, it's something that I've been doing for almost 25 years now, and it wasn't something that I thought I would ever do, be a puppeteer. But it's actually just about letting people believe in the life inside the object. And a lot of that starts with how the puppet breathes and makes its movements. So that's really the biggest thing, is making an object breathe and come alive for the audience.
So is that what your challenge is as a puppeteer? How much of it is it you versus how much of it is the character?
Well, it's actually all me. The puppet is a kind of not living thing, so I have to actually put the spirit and breath of the character into this object. And that's why puppetry is such an interesting form. It actually exists in every country around this world, in every culture, and it has for hundreds and hundreds of years.
And you actually make some of these puppets, right?
That's correct.
So how do you determine what materials you use or what it's going to look like? Like, I talked about that process.
Well, it takes all forms, but one of the big considerations is how many people do you have? How many hands, right? If in this particular show, The Magic of Light, there's just me and a musician. So every puppet in that show has to be able to become alive just by one person. So that's the big consideration. And then there's other design things about how the puppet will tell the story. If it's on strings, if it's a shadow puppet, if it's a hand puppet, there's a whole lot of factors that go into it.
Because there's contemporary and then there's traditional puppeteers, correct?
Absolutely. Like I mentioned, puppetry is one of the most ancient storytelling forms in the entire world. And right here we have examples of a Chinese hand puppet, a Japanese kuruma ningyo style puppet from Japan. These forms were early forms of entertainment. They were like people's movies and TV and radio before any of the modern age.
Okay, so true or false, we get to play with some puppets today.
That's right.
Okay. That'll be fun. All right, what can we do?
Okay, well, come on over here, back behind the shadow screen. And first of all, Tanya, try not to get your shadow into the light, but you're going to take this character, and then you're going to take that character. Great. Press them right up against the screen.
Oh, there they are.
That's it. All right. And I'll do a couple little noises for you. Here's the horse.
Okay.
Wow, do you have to be versed in sounds?
Well, it helps if you are.
Okay.
And then here's our rooster. And now the two of them can bow to each other. Good day, sir. And now they can make their triumphant exit. Yeah! Great job.
This reminds me of Lady Fairchild and the different puppeteers that I remember as a child watching PBS shows.
Totally. One of my big like heroes was Mr. Rogers, and I actually got to meet him in Pittsburgh when I was going to school.
Oh my gosh.
And he was one of those people that really made you really believe in something, and also think about the profundity of it. Sometimes we think of puppets as something just for kids, but particularly in Magic of Light, it's telling a story of an artist's journey, something that's really contemporary to right now and reflects also on the history and hard history of Ukraine at this very moment.
Now, I was noticing though with the puppetry here, you see the actual puppeteer.
Yes.
And is that a different form of
There are a lot of different forms of puppetry in which the puppeteer is hidden. But in this piece, because I'm performing, singing, giving the dialogue directly as an actor, the choice is to leave me exposed. And my focus and concentration on the puppet is part of the full experience of it. We're not trying to hide the fact that there's Tom Lee behind the puppet. We're actually showing you that this is a handmade, in-person, live event.
This is physical.
Oh, yeah. It's totally physical. Like, you think like a puppet's just like a little thing, but you actually have to have a really strong core. I warm up my voice and my body before every puppet show I do. And some are more physical than others, but it sounds easy, but even just holding a light weight up for a long time can be a really physical chore.
How much rehearsal time goes into this? Because you have specific movements that you're...
Yeah, this piece we've been rehearsing for, we have about a week to remount it because it was premiered in New York City. But on another piece I'm doing at the Wirt Center, which will premiere in January, we're rehearsing in many different periods over about 6 weeks.
Wow.
And between those periods of rehearsal, puppet making, building, fixing, painting. So it's the kind of art form where you have to make the actors.
So I'm curious about the show Magic of Light. Is there, for somebody watching that may never have gone to a puppet show or have any sort of like interaction with it, what do you want them to know about the show?
Well, first of all, I want them to be able to feel and believe in a character that comes to life right in front of them. One of the most amazing things about puppets is they can reflect our own human emotions, right? If we see the puppet acting like it's sad or acting like it's elated, we project our own emotions on that puppet. And I think in this piece especially, because of the range of this remarkable story of Martinovich, this artist who meets a very important musician in his life, you see that transformation. And you also see a character discover what they want to do with their life.
Sounds to me like the closer you are to the stage, the better off you
Oh,
are.
yeah. And after the show, come on up, talk to me, talk to Julian, the musician, come and touch and look at the puppets, ask questions. We invite everybody to be there.
For kids and adults?
Kids and adults.
Love that.
That is amazing. Thank you, Tom, for coming in and
you.
sharing
Oh,
with
such a
us and letting us
pleasure.
play with the puppets.
Yeah.
Light of Magic is November 13th through the 16th. For tickets and more information, just head to wirtsnorthwestern.edu.